Having free speech and the free exercise of religion means that sometimes we have to be willing to hear a different point of view. That's what First Liberty is explaining to Waco, Texas. Hi, I'm Peyton Luke, and you're watching First Liberty Live. Thank you so much for joining us today, as well as for liking or sharing our content. It really makes a huge difference and enables us to continue the work that we do to defend religious liberty. Our guest today is Garrett Bell, Associate Counsel here at First Liberty, and Pastor Ronnie Holmes. Looking forward to talking to you guys today about the situation going on in Waco. So, Pastor Ronnie, I understand that you and 4 others from your church went to a public park in Waco during an event. So what did you hope to do while you were there?
Our goal, because we're an outreaching church, is and we love our city and the people of our city, we want to go share the gospel at a place that we felt like would be an open opportunity to do so. So we showed up that day at that event that was open to the public in a public park, and with minimal literature, just basic covering the gospel of Jesus Christ. And we went to have conversations with people. That was our goal, share the love and the truth of Jesus both, and see what results God could produce from that.
So did you get to have any of those conversations?
We had great initial conversations with people, with vendors that were there and the attendees. And then about an hour or so later, the Waco police were called and told us that we had to stop doing that in that public area, that there was a place set aside for protesters. We didn't consider ourselves that. We were having conversations as ministers of the gospel. So we were asked to go to this designated area, and felt like our liberties got so trampled at that point. It was hurtful in a sense to be in this community for essentially all my life and take that liberty at that point and then have it curtailed so abruptly as it was.
So what was going through your mind as all of this was happening?
That something is so off because we're in the United States of America. What they call a free speech zone. I thought the zone was from New York to California and wherever.
Did you ever think something like this would happen to you, especially in the state of Texas?
I had not realistically considered that it would be so. We are aware that, liberty's been infringed upon in so many different areas, but didn't really want in the heart of Texas, of all places, bastion of liberty it should be. So it was offensive. It was hurtful. I don't know what other adjectives I'd want to throw in there, but I didn't care for it at all.
Sure. So make the case for us why Pastor Ronnie and his friends have the right to do what they were doing in the public park.
Well, Peyton, not to seem too cavalier, but frankly, the legal case is this is a free country. And the Constitution recognizes every citizen's right to say what they want, when they want, and how they want. And the government has to clear a very, very high threshold to restrict our speech in any kind of way, especially religious speech, which is doubly protected by the Constitution. And frankly, the government here just doesn't pass that test. For one, this is a public park that remained open to the public. Just because the Waco Pride Network had a permit does not change the status of that park. Courts are very clear on that. And this is a situation where the content of this speech is the reason why it was restricted. It was that the participants and the event organizer did not agree with the message that Ronnie Holmes and his church had for those people. And they weaponized the Waco City Police to remove them.
What did you say in that letter?
So we essentially gave them an overview of the law, that the courts are very, very clear that this is impermissible. And we told Waco that they have 2 weeks to respond. So we sent that letter on May 30th. So that would be this Friday, the 13th. We would love to hear back from the city of Waco and know that they are doing the right thing, but we'll have to wait and see what the response is.
Sure. And then what are our next steps legally if the city doesn't respond?
If the city does not respond, or they respond in a way that, frankly, they dig their heels in and say, nope, we stand behind this policy and we're going to continue enforcing it, then as the letter says, legal recourse is our sole response, and we will file a complaint in the city of Waco.
Yeah. Pastor Ronnie, I'm sure this is tough going through all of this too. It's like you were just, trying to reach out to people and be part of outreach and, minister, which is your calling. So how are you feeling in the middle of all of this now, having First Liberty, having all this legal stuff going on and still trying to fulfill the needs of your church?
I feel a relief that you guys are behind us and having a track record of success and a love for Jesus, a love for country, a love for liberty. And so the partnership has been so relieving to me, because for 7 or 8 months, as we've waited for a response from the city to clarification and those things, and just on hold, but we were still obligated, mandated from God to share our faith wherever we are. And we're not trying to be obnoxious or arm twisting, but shine the light. So I just think you guys coming along are fresh wind under our sails. We will continue to do this, but it would sure be better to do it without government stepping in to squash it. And that's what I look toward.
Sure. Well, it's our honor to step alongside you in this case and, frankly, educate the city of Waco in these matters. Thank you both so much for joining us today on First Liberty Live.
Thank you
so much.
If you'd like to see religious liberty restored throughout America, you can join us by going to firstliberty.org. There you'll see all of our initiatives and ways to get involved, as well as ways that you can support. You'll see the big red give button on our homepage. First Liberty is entirely donor funded. Our clients never receive a bill from us, and we thank you in advance for your love and support. First Liberty, fighting for what matters most.